Jonathan Castro, a little tap of the cone. Will that be a restart? Yes, it will. All right, a tap of the cone. You saw it wobble, but just what it seems that yesterday we saw, again, a lot of people hitting those cones. Obviously in qualifying, not a factor, not an issue.
I wonder what that was all about, though.
What?
The cone placement, but at the drivers' meeting, they also brought it up where
it's a little tight.
It felt like it was a little tight. I think the officials went back and checked it out, so I'm not sure if they had to move it or not, but yeah, don't hit the cone because it kind of, messes up the pace of the competition, I guess.
There you go, Santo Domingo. We're talking horsepower, 900 compared to 1,300. Is that what Jerry Yang is putting in under the hood of that thing?
Yeah, it's a VR, and it makes a lot of horsepower. I'm not sure if they're using it fully, but I think anything over 800 is just all smoke.
Yeah, because, again, you're right. It's wheel speed. So you're just turning them. You're getting up there. But I know, like, Ola Jaeger, he's like, I just need to get that wheel speed up. So it's necessary.
Gearing is really important for especially competition nowadays. But there you go.
Here we go. Let's go. Set it. Here we go. Jonathan Castro out of the gate. Kazuya Taguchi right there to the side. Again, that Toyota GR86, the LTH Mobile 1 GR86 under the bridge. Kazuya Taguchi, he does seem to mimic him fairly well after the outside zone. Kazuya Taguchi right there on that fender. He's tucked right in that pocket. Well done by Kazuya Taguchi. I'll tell you what, Jonathan Castro, he does nudge that inside clip out of the way. A great way to start 32. Now keep in mind, 32, well, we already have those bye runs from Ryan Turk and James Dean. We will not see them run on course. In 32, they don't need to execute their single solo passes. Robbie, walk us through, what do you see here? This is a great way, I think it's safe.
This is a great way to start the competition here. Very clean run by Castro. Let's go ahead and check this out. A little smaller on the line behind by Taguchi. Nice line up front by Castro, but he does, I guess he gets close enough at outside zone 3 by the wall, but I think the lead car did a beautiful job and gave the chase car a chance to do a great chase. So Taguchi did a great job as well. Now we're going to have to see what Taguchi's going to do when he's leading because Castro's lead run was pretty strong.
All right, there we go, ripping through. You can see him.
Yeah, right there. So as you can see, this drone footage kind of explains it a little bit. I know the chase car is usually on a smaller line than the lead car, but it wasn't to the point where it was so bad that we would have to, I don't know.
Yeah, it wasn't.
It was acceptable.
Good.
So
it was clean. It was a 7.5. It was passing. No big X factor there. Again, qualifying, that's kind of out the window. X factor is not a topic of conversation. But if you can do something that the other driver can't, you don't check them up. I remember years ago, kind of try to mess up the chase car. That's not the issue.
Yeah, the lead car just goes.
Run your run.
Don't worry about the chase car.
Here we go. Kazuya out front, up garage. Jerry Yang Racing. 86 against the Toyota. LTH Mobile 1. Toyota. Oh! Kazuya gets into the wall. That's going to affect that chase driver. We'll see how the judges see that. Again, Robin Sheeta, Chris Yule, Ryan Lantain are judges. Look at Castro.
Wow.
So what gets interesting here, good aggressive driving by Kazuya Taguchi, but wasn't too aggressive because if you're chasing somebody and you go in, right?
So
what do you think?
Mistakes made by the lead car does affect the chase car a lot at some point. But let's go ahead and see. I think Taguchi's initiation was a little bit snappier, but maybe because of that, he did go a little bit too wide. Waivers there coming out of outside zone 2. He had to pull the e-brake a little bit going from outside zone 2 to 3, where you have to power through. So that's multiple mistakes made by the lead run. Castro keeping his cool when he's chasing Taguchi. He keeps a good distance. Right here, even he tries to match the line. And as you can see right now from the drone footage, it looks like Castro does dive in a lot from outside zone 2, but that might have been affected by Taguchi's lead run by going into the wall.
You don't want to write off your car, man. This is round 1. I always tell people, but between you have your off season, you build your car, we throw you at the most unforgiving track.
Yeah.
Make it to Atlanta. Just get to Atlanta. Get past this, and obviously if you feel the special sauce, you definitely have to push and like Ryan Turk. Yeah, I mean he's got big drift energy. Let's just call it what it is.
Yeah, and driving by yourself and driving in tandem is two totally different things too. But the lead cars just have to concentrate on keeping it clean, sticking it to the walls, not into the walls,
Yep.
and with a lot of angle and a lot of throttle.
Truly international affair. Ryan Lantain, Chris Yule, Robbie Nishida, our 3 judges this round. Brian Eggert will be peppered in, and again, we're kind of rotating our overall, thing. All right, here we go. Slide him left for Castro. Slide him right, and Jonathan Castro gets the win. Jonathan Castro gets the win. 2-1. And your reasoning there, Robbie?
Okay, well, just as I explained earlier too, going into the wall.
It was unanimous?
Oh,
There is a correction.
Okay.
It was unanimous. So, for whatever reason, Ryan Lantain, you chose Castro. You chose Castro. Oh, you guys chose Castro, correct? It was unanimous. There was, sorry, just to clarify, software glitch.
Yeah, going back to that,
Ghost in the machine.
The wall tap and the car wavering, that kind of threw off the lead run, and that did throw off the chase run as well. So moving on is going to be Castro.
All right, so yeah, just to clarify.
Weekend.
Yeah, just to clarify. I know, I saw you look over at Lantain, you're like, what, bro? All right, next battle here. Odie Bakshis, Jonathan Hurst. Odie, him in an S chassis, Jonathan Hurst. What used to be the loudest car, I think Odie is the loudest car. Would you agree? And that's not a fact.
A lot of those V8s are really loud, so.
All right, so guess what? Castro will be going against Ryan Turk in the top 16. Who's advancing on from this battle? We got Odie Bakshis, Jonathan Hurst, the pride of Paducah, versus Odie Bakshis, who is always a contender for the championship. Good shifting from him. Doesn't get all the way out there. Jonathan Hurst doing a really good job of mimicking the line of Odie Bakshis. You can see him dialing in. I'll tell you, Odie is an odds-on favorite here in Long Beach, but that just didn't seem like 100% Odie.
Yeah, he did a nice flick going from outside zone 1 to 2. Let's go ahead and check this out. Very smooth by both drivers. Goes all the way into the outside zone. Nice transition going to the outside zone 2, but it looks like he was a little short on outside zone 3. The rest of the track he does well, but I have to pick up that the lead driver did miss outside zone 3 a little bit. And watching the chase driver here, trying to keep up on a smaller and shallower line, couldn't do the transition as dynamic as the lead car, but does get a little bit closer in proximity towards the outside zone 3 and through inside clip 1. So once again, don't know what's going to happen until we see Odie chasing down Hurst.
Oh man. Well, you know what? Also, just such a family affair, man. I know you and your wife and your son. Your son's how old now, Robbie?
He's going to college. He's 19.
Holy cow.
Shout out to Joey.
Shout out to Joey. Is he watching at home? What's that?
Stay in school.
Stay in school. Yeah, my son's over here doing the emceeing for Rockstar Energy Drink. He's 16 years old. Mike Spagnola, president and CEO of SEMA, he's in the building. He brought his family and grandkids. They're over in a suite. They're having fun. Shout out to the Accelerate team, Victor and his kids. They're out here as well, Carrillo, and it's just really great to see. I know Jim Lau, co-founder of Formula Drift, he got his wife and kids out here. It's just great to see. But, the Formula Drift family runs deep. Here we go. Speaking of family, let's see what the pride of Paducah, Jonathan Hurst, has got here for Odie Bakshis. Look at that. Jonathan Hurst, Cash Racing is all around. Woo! He sheds that carbon Kevlar bumper like it's just duct tape. No problem for Jonathan Hurst. Wow, I'll tell you what. Odie Bakshis, again, odds-on favorite. If I'm a betting man, and hey, maybe play some bets. We'll see what we got here. Jonathan Hurst puts it down in front of Odie Bakshis, and wow, that field suspension. And again, Robbie, take into consideration. Talk about Matt Field, him being off Falcon. This is another driver who only knows how to drive on Falcon. He's changed his tire. Walking through it. Look at Hurst. See him transition into that touch and go. Odie does get aggressive. Was that a little late? Watch the initiation here. First initiates, Odie on the inside. Robbie, what are your thoughts? What's going through your head?
Yeah, so the line as a chase driver going to outside zone 1, it looks like Odie was doing a better job, but he does cut in at the transition. And looking at the lead run by Hurst, he does a better job than the lead driver Odie at outside zone 3. So this is going to be a really close one.
Yeah, this is a tough one, and like I said, odds-on favorite Odie Bakshis is a real force here at Long Beach. I mean, one of the best chase drivers. His chase acumen has just progressed over the years. Always a championship contender.
So right now, I think Odie's outside zone 3 as the lead run is going to hurt him right now. But Hurst also, when he was in the chase position, it looked like he was taking a shallower line through outside zone 1 and 2. And overall, Odie did look a little bit more aggressive proximity-wise. So I'm looking forward to seeing who could actually stick with the car and smoothly, because, you know, as a lead car, we want them to be smooth and also exciting versus, you know, getting close to the walls. Lead car has to try to run their best run as a lead driver. The chase car obviously has to be as close as possible.
Here we go. Slide him left for Odie or right for Jonathan Hurst. And look at that. Ryan Lontaine says one more time, but Jonathan Hurst gets, that's not right? All three are hurt. Okay. All right. If the graphic's going to be incorrect, we just need to tell me. It was unanimous.
No. I did an OMT. The other two judges did Hurst.
Copy that.
And I did the whole subtracting the good part of the lead run, the bad part about the chase run, and it looked pretty close. But, you know, that's why there's three of us out here where it was that close.
So it was correct, but Japanese judge Robbie went one more time.
Yeah, I went
Chris Yule and Ryan Lontaine sided with Jonathan Hurst.
Yeah, so going back to that, you know, that's why there's three of us, you know. It was very close, but at the same time, both the other judges thought Hurst did the better, so Hurst is moving on.
So just to clarify, Jonathan Hurst gets the win, taking out Odie Bakshis in top 32. So Odie Bakshis, who finished top 10 last year, is knocked out early.
Yeah, and you know, Hurst was looking good all weekend, so this is going to be exciting to see how far he's going to go up on the ladder.
He did a great, I've listened to some of his podcasts and interview. I love the dude. He's just always got a smile on his face. He's just a very gregarious, fun-loving dude. Let's take a look at this battle. Brandon Sorensen, Taylor Hull. Brandon, the new livery, same sponsor, United States Air Force. He's in it from Las Vegas. Taylor Hull, new car, same great pride for America. Look at that, Stars and Stripes, Tom Cams, Enobrock, Kenda Tires. And look at Brandon Sorensen, the pedal commander. A little bit shallow on that last outside zone. Tighten it up to the inside clip. Look at Taylor nosing in that all-new Corvette for him.
Yeah, I think this is the first three battles, but I think all three of them, maybe the lead runs, they're kind of not all the way out on the outside zone 3. They're all doing great on outside zone 1 and 2, but right here, looking at Sorensen, he does miss outside zone 3. A little late at the touch and go doing the transition, but overall, clean run. Taylor Hull kind of falling back in proximity, but he is staying on the same line through outside zone 1, adjusts his line, stays in within proximity of the lead run. Not super close, but close enough. A little shallow at the inside clip as a chase run, but now we're going to see what's going to happen when Taylor leads.
Yeah, Taylor Hull will now lead. Brandon Sorensen giving chase. See what we got here. Taylor Hull will now lead. Who's going to refine it? Again, that X factor.
No, I mean, we never have those in Japan, so yeah.
All right, well, regardless, look at it. I think it is tight right there, but, you know, it's going to slow down. It's going to get them equally prepared. Here we go. Taylor Hull out front. Brandon Sorensen, he drops back quite a bit. Brandon needs to join the conversation. Taylor Hull using all the course. Ping pong. 1 to 2. Outside zone 3. Brandon Sorensen, a little shimmying there. Taylor Hull does not get all the way out to that last outside zone 3. Now tightening up to that inside clip. Brandon, the car seems a little loose. Brandon, again, he was not part of the conversation. He slid in the DMs, or better yet, to the side of Taylor Hull on that first outside zone. And Taylor, like I said, I think this car is going to really favor his driving style. The parts are readily available. Corvettes are definitely a competitive vehicle. Looking at it again here.
Yeah, there was a separation there from the chase car. Taylor Hull was leading. He's doing a fairly good job as a lead run. Not as exciting and not all the way out to the walls, but a very average run by the lead driver. Now, Brandon looks like he had to play a little bit of catch-up going into outside zone 1. And right there, as you can see, he threw on his angle a little bit later to give that extra leap to get closer to the lead run, and he does a good job getting close to Taylor Hull towards the end of the track, mid to end of the track. So now it's going to be, is that going to be enough, trying to play catch up towards the end.
All right, so Brandon Sorensen taking a look at that, and our fans, you know, talking on the chatter, and they're saying Taylor Hull, 67%, 16% are saying one more time. So going off the fan base here on the online chatter, they're saying Taylor Hull gets the victory. Love the conversation. Join it. Hashtag FDLB on social media. There's a chat going on YouTube. Later on, the top 16, first time ever, live on MAV TV. So if you're watching, you got your TV, you got MAV TV, turn it on. First time ever, live on MAV TV. And here we go. Taylor Hull gets 1, 2, and a 3. Taylor Hull in that Comp Cams Corbin. It's great to see Vitor. They're sponsoring a few people, including Rome Charpentier. No, I don't like
Rome. I'm not even
Charpentier.
Yeah.
Nick Novak Racing, Jerry Yang. So Nick Novak Racing Co. and Jerry Yang on that GT Radio BMW. Says gives Moderns hell on the back of that wing. It looks like Nick Novak. Look at Rome Charpentier. Rome was not built in a day, and right now he's building a great line here. Nick Novak kind of struggling to hang with Rome, who absolutely did a great job over the last few years. You know, again, notably in New Mexico, I remember he crashed, the car was red. His mom says that red was bad luck. Ever since he's gone the neon Trapper Keeper looking livery, he's definitely stepped up. What are your thoughts?
So Rome's lead doesn't make it all the way out to the outside zone 1, but fairly close. That was a good job. Very smooth throughout the track. But looking at Novak in the back, he did make a sizable mistake at the outside zone 1. I think he did get a little too friendly with the wall there. Disrupted his angle, so he had to kind of play catch up, run through a small line, going through outside zone 2 to 3.
You're talking about Novak. Novak got disrupted.
In the back, yeah. So he got closer towards the end at the inside clip, but now we're gonna have to see how he's gonna lead.
Baby Novak, you could put your hand, right? Is that how it goes?
Yeah, we're old.
Yeah, yacht rock, baby. We're listening to yacht rock. The breeze is flowing. You know, the boats are right here. You know, let's just go. Let's just get on a boat, Robbie.
All
you
right.
and me.
Right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm out. See you guys later.
Yeah, see you guys later.
Catalina Wine Mixer, dude. It's right here. We're just going to jump over there. It's like an hour away. All right, here we go. Let's switch him up here. Nick Novak, Novak Racing Co., Jerry Yang Racing. He's on the GT radials. Definitely a fierce driver, but Rome Charpentier, his mom and dad, they're cheering. Oh, I think it's tight over there, man. Is it tighter than the previous year? Let's roll the tape back. We'll take a look. Novak flirting with the wall. And the wrong wall at that, but now he flirts with the right wall. Outer zone 1 into outer zone 2. But Rome Charpentier, you can see him right there, the garage stick. BMW. Well done there by Rome Charpentier.
Yeah,
Rome.
other than Novak hitting the wall, leaving the chicane over there.
You can see, sorry, Rome was, hey, thumbs up. Like, he just pulled right up next to him, just like, hey, good job.
So right here, Rome falling back a little bit, but close enough. And he does mimic the line and angle by the lead driver fairly well throughout the track and keeps a good pace. Doesn't get too far or too close throughout the track. So I would have to say a little bit of a safe chase run. But Novak's lead run, it looks really exciting. Right there all the way to the outside zone 1. A little shallow on the angle to the outside zone 2. Doesn't make it all the way out to outside zone 3. So there's a few mistakes. Exciting, very exciting to see, but a few sizable mistakes by the lead run on the second run.
Want to send a shout out to Tyson Bravo, Deanna, T-Bone in the building, baby. Bam, 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 bam. Taking a look at the percentage-wise, they are saying that Rome, the fans are saying 60+%. Oh, it's up to 75%. Rob, did you put your score in?
I did.
Okay. Look at that, Forrest Wang. Where are my Forrest Wang fans at? He has definitely a feverish fan base. They love Forrest style. Again, Forrest very soft spoken.
Like even throughout the world, even in Japan or anywhere else I see, I don't think there's any other driver
Real quick,
that's that
gonna
stylish.
stop you right there. Rome Charpentier gets the win. Rome gets the win. Unfortunately, Nick Novak knocked out.
Watching this, and I sound like an old man.
No, you know what? People say, "Oh, those are the good old days." Today's a good old day.
Yes, it
Make
is.
today a good old day.
It's gonna be somebody's good
Tomorrow's
old day
a good
later.
old day.
Yep.
Make today a good old day. That's my saying, man. And I was telling a few different people, just the electricity here and the anticipation. I told so many people I'm really excited. So look at this, a rookie versus the vet. Two similar vehicles, but very different. Diego Higa using, buddy.
That's
Shuts it down. So Diego Higa on launch, you saw it, threw too much angle at it, could not counter and get under the bridge to the outer zone 2, shuts it down. That'll be a major deficit to our Formula Drift rookie from Brazil, Diego Higa.
Yes, it is. I mean, if he pulled that angle off, that would have been crazy. But he couldn't hold on to it, and it was a half spin. So obviously that's going to be the lead car incompleting, and a huge mistake by the lead car. So
What did he do? What went wrong here?
I think
Too much
he
angle?
was. Yeah, no, he was trying to do the best he can right there.
Whoop.
And kind of over-rotated right
out.
there. Yeah.
He was full. I mean, he was full locked
Oh,
on
he was
that.
full
You can
lock,
see that front. You didn't see any wheel. All you saw was
But,
tire kind of pointing at us.
I think these drivers do it so easily, so you kind of don't appreciate it as much. But driving under this, being under pressure, and driving with that much angle, and these cars aren't cheap, and it's very expensive. Throwing these cars around in between these walls, and going full out, it's really, really hard, and it's.
You're gambling. You're gambling. Do you go all in? Do you slide the chips and say, "Hey, I'm going to go all in"?
Yep,
it's round one. You can win a championship by not winning an event, but you can't win if you're in the wall.
Yeah, when you see all the battles that we've seen till now, the guys that make the higher risk, and sometimes they could pull it off. Obviously, we want to see the higher risks. They get the higher returns by doing that. So low risk, low return, and we want to see that. And that's what's most exciting of drifting, and that's why I started this sport.
Well, you got to think Diego Higa. He's a rookie going against Kenshiro Gucci. He has the equity. He's been here before. He knows what to do. Especially right now, it's a pretty easy play for Kenshiro. Gucci's just got to go through the paces, don't do anything wildly, X Factor-ish as we're calling it. Just go through it. The Freeze Racing Monty's Toyota GR86. He's doing exactly what he's doing. So is Diego. He knows he's trying to force a mistake for Gucci, but guess what? He is the OG, the original Gucci, baby. He gets it done. Unfortunately, hey, welcome Diego Higa to FD.
Yeah, and Higa was in, he did back then when it was a Pro 2 round, and he did one round in a Mustang, I think, in Atlanta, and I remember seeing him, and I think the car wasn't so developed. Now he's in a car that's a lot more developed, and now we get to see his skills a lot more, so this is another driver to watch out for the year, but this time the veteran gets the win and moves on.
Yep. Congratulations. Again, without even going to the judges, Kenshiro Gucci's going to get the win. Look at all that rubber laid down.
Yeah,
how does the track perform?
I mean, if I had fake shoes, my soles would have fell off because it sticks on my shoes so much.
It's like a burnout box in a drag race.
So I think the officials were trying to take off some of that before we started this event this weekend. So hands down to the guys out there working hard.
It's really cool. If you look at Google Maps at our location right now, when all this goes away after Long Beach Grand Prix, you still see our line. And that's the party in itself, all the different varieties of racing, but we put our little special sauce on it, so we'll be out here Friday and Saturday night. Here we go, Forrest Wang. He is back in Formula Drift, guys, and he's going against a rookie in Robert Thorne. Forrest, there's that big angle. That he's just so widely known. Oh, that's a tight line for Forrest Wang. And Robert Thorne, he makes his presence felt there. And you can see Forrest Wang opening the door for Robert Thorne, taking that tighter line. That was not the proper line of Forrest Wang. And that's where it could catch him. We saw that big angle from him on outer zone 1, failed to get to 2, and that tightened him up on the inner clip. if you're gonna start, if you're gonna start like that, you gotta finish like that.
Yeah, that was a sizable mistake made by the lead driver. Outside zone 1 looked fabulous, but right there he does a transition a little too early, fails to make it out to the outside zone 2 and 3 area. This is where Thorne was able to catch right up to Forrest Wang's car. Check this out right here, outside zone 1, almost perfect there, but doesn't make it all the way out to the outside zone 2. He's on the rumble strip on the inside, and Thorne does a good job. Even though the lead car is going off course, Thorne is doing a good job mimicking the lead car right here, but that's a sizable mistake by the lead car.
Robert
right
Thorne,
there.
yeah, sorry to cut you off there. Robert Thorne, a newcomer from Pro Spec, coming into Pro, an absolute wheelman in traditional racing, now coming into drifting last year, won multiple events, gets a championship. I mean, he's just an absolute, he's a thorn in everybody's side in more ways than one, and he is just somebody to follow this year. Had a little rough start here yesterday, but then got it done because he was forced to go into the bottom, the second qualifying run. So Thorne did get in. He qualified 28th. Forrest Wang qualified 5th. But when push comes to shove, sometimes you got to shove. Here we go. Robert Thorne will lead, and Forrest Wang will give chase. That Yellow Speed Racing S15. Again, that big signature style, big swoopy angle. But you got to put the car in the right place. Let's see, Robert Thorne's got aggressive driving style into that first outer zone. Comes up a bit short. Look at, see, Forrest is trying to attack. He knows he's trying to force a mistake on Thorne, but Thorne, he hits that outside zone. Forrest right there, the green shadow. Tight on that inside clip. And unfortunately, I think that mistake by Forrest Wang is going to outweigh Robert Thorne. But taking a look at it, what do you think, Robbie? What are you looking at here? What are you focusing on?
Yeah, we're watching the replay there, but in the chase position, here we go. In the chase position, looks like Wang gets into the smaller line there, then kind of gets choked up. And not because Thorne doing anything bad, but he kind of put himself in that situation there. Doesn't make it all the way to the outside zone 1 like the lead car it did. And that kind of put him in a tight situation where it was hard for him to do a transition. And the timing of the transition is very important for this car, for this track, especially for the chase car, because you're pretty much going and chasing a car that's pretty much going into the wall, and you have to kind of give them the trust and do a transition at the perfect area to be able to stick to their door or the rear quarter panel through the outside zone 2 and 3.
All right, so the fans are voting right now. A lot of people are going one more time. It's going Thorne. I think sometimes the passion gets in the way of just looking at it, taking the emotions out of it, and looking at the application of driving.
Yeah, like for us, it's just, car A and car B and how it moves, and that's how we have to see it. So we're not heartless or anything, but
no,
that's what we have to do as judges.
Again, people, who's your favorite? Chris Forsberg always gets the win. I'm joking.
Yeah.
People jokingly always. So slide him left for Forrest Wang, right for Robert Thorne. One more time. Oh, all the criteria.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go. Yep. Alec Robbins, Ola Yeager. Alec Robbins, nonstop tuning 250Z. Again, Ola Yeager, he's talking about that. Oh, Robbins! Oh, man. That was a big, heavy hit. You saw him throw him out of shape. I think Yeager got a bit of a gift there from Robbins. Robbins, we've seen him just progress through the years. He was really aggressive when he came into FD, like something to prove. It came in hot, and I love his driving style, but it's one of those cases like Chelsea Denofa. He knows he needs a detune it. Just dial it back just a little bit.
Yeah, right here, too. At the beginning, it looked like, okay, Robbins is going to have a lead right here, a lot of lead by in front of Yeager, because he did fall back on the straight and at the initiation, but he does end up into the wall. Huge correction. He tries to play it off by staying into drift, so I am going to see if that's going to be, I'm not sure if that's going to be a chaseable lead. So that might even be an incomplete as a lead car, but then that might be an unchaseable lead run. So
yeah, just analyzing here, and we have taking a look. We'll run it back here, but right now that'll be a restart. Saw Ola Yeager hit that cone. Is it that much narrower? Or the car's wider? What's going on here? I feel
Maybe
like
the car's wider. I don't know, but yeah.
It's what? Always
Yeah,
the same.
it's always the same.
Just
yeah.
coming out hot. Here's a look at what you're talking
Yeah,
about,
this is
Robbie.
what we're talking about right there. As
Yeah.
you saw, and especially,
Failure to launch.
yeah, it was. We got a little carried away by looking at the outside zone 2 area where Robbins went into, but looking back at some of the replays, one of the some of our replays, Sean Adriano does our replays here, and he was able to catch that, and that was something that we have to take that in consideration with how we're going to judge this.
There's the 3, 2, 1 cones, or the numbers. The numbers are literally on the catch fence.
Yeah,
Going
and
initiation.
there's a line, yeah, where the 1 cone is. You have to be initiating.
And you'll see it right here. So see if 3, 2, 1.
right
You
there.
need to boom
Initiate
right
it.
there.
There you
So
go.
that he initiated at the right point. I feel like Ola. Whoa! And look at that. He does what Robbins does, tapping wall to wall. But Robbins, oh my gosh, he is tapping. Yeah, wow. He's like Pokemon, catching them all. Robbins shuts it down. He knows, like, hey, you know what? I don't know what's going on up front there, but I can't follow that. That's a hard act to follow. So, unfortunately, Jaeger, I think, again, I had some words with him yesterday. He's just trying to find that wheel speed, trying to get it up. As we look at it again, Jaeger, he goes in, bang, straightens out, reinitiates, gets into outside zone 2, taps that wall. Robbins is like, what is going on? Bang, he hits that wall. So unfortunately for this Norwegian driver, the Japan Auto Mark IV Supra just hits all the walls. You know, when it comes to the chase car, Robbins, you see him kind of surrender. I'd like him to continue, but technically, if it's an unchaseable run, he can shut it down. But that's a game time decision. So if you have that awareness of saying like, oh, he's made way too many mistakes, this is unchaseable, shut it down. That's on the chase driver, or maybe the spotter saying, hey, shut it down. You know, like maybe it's unsafe. You know what I mean? So that is absolutely a driver decision. Technically, it just comes down to the driver. That's not going to, you know, they have to have the wherewithal to say, yeah, that's too much. All right, so the judge is elaborating on, you know, now it comes down to, let's just be honest, Robbins and Ola Jaeger had two very, not the prettiest runs. I've been quoted as saying that. So now it's like, who is the better of the worst runs? And now they're breaking down as far as logistically, do we reward them to go one more time? Does somebody get a win because of mistakes? Does somebody get a loss because of mistakes? Tighten it up, boys. Come on. This is FD. This is Long Beach. But those walls are unforgiving, so, you know, they're risking it. You saw Robbins go in. He went hard. That's going to affect your chase car. Let's take a look at the BC Racing side-by-side replay. Go for gold. BC Racing, official suspension of Formula Drift. Going to that wall. So you can see on the left, we're looking at Robbins leading and then Jaeger leading on the right. You know, taking a look at this, when the lead car makes so many mistakes up front, the chase car can't really do anything. You know, like they have to either, we saw Robbins just kind of shut it down because of that, but Robbins made a mistake out of the gate. What are you guys analyzing? What are you looking at? What are you focusing at?
So it's
defaulting to the rule book, right?
Yeah, so we're going back to the rule book. Now, if both of the cars incomplete as a lead run, then it's most likely in one more time. But in this case, Ola...
Here we go. Robbins gets the win. Robbins unanimously gets the win. Elaborate, please.
Yeah, then Ola incompletes before Robbins.
We're about to pick up. Who's going to go against Alec Robbins? Force Wang initiates. Get nuts. Yellow Speed Racing. Come on. Oh, look at that. Oh, shut it down. Robert Thorne. What happened to Thorne? Oh, Forrest shuts it down.
Oh, it looked like there was I'm not sure. I'm going to have to watch the replay, but then it looked like there was slight contact, maybe towards the end of the straight, right before, right at the initiation. It looks like something is broken on the car.
Yeah, his wheels are going the wrong way. Maybe, right? Oh, look at Thorne. Yeah, that front left.
Oh yeah, there we go. Yep, there was a contact there right after the initiation. It looks
Boom.
like Thorne hit Forrest Wang's, looks like front right.
Yep.
And that didn't affect him at the outside zone 1, but right there when he has to do a switchback, the front right, I'm not sure if it's a tie rod or something. Doesn't look like his steering is working. Yeah, that was a close call.
So when it comes,
glad that he didn't go into the wall either.
Yeah, that could have been really scary for both the vehicles. So it seems that Robert Thorne too aggressive on initiation, gets into the side of Wang because the chase car needs to give way to the lead car.
Yeah, the lead cars always have the right of way on the straight.
Watch the initiation and then bang. So here's what also yeah, I think he hit twice.
It looks like they bumped.
Boom,
it looks like they
boom.
bumped a little at the straightaway. Then right there, when they started to drift, it looks like Thorne's front left hit. Maybe it was like tire to tire, hit front right, Forrest front right tire, and might have like broke a tire rod or something. So we're gonna have to probably see who's at fault and whatnot.
Hey, thank you to our SoCal Club, our Cal Club corner workers. Thank you to Bill Baldwin. Bill Baldwin, a legendary beard and the man with metal legs. He stood down there under the bridge for many years. This is last Formula Drift event for us. If you know the gentleman with the white beard and the overalls, wearing the white gear, Bill Baldwin, it's his final event here. So thank you, Bill. Bill with 1L. Thank you so much. Iconic figure of Formula Drift.
So I
probably
think,
seen. Do you remember the videos of Bill standing there?
Oh yeah, I saw him.
So he's here
right
right now. It's his final event.
He
says this
really
is it.
Great to see him.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, he says this is my last event.
Oh wow.
So yeah, he's hanging out. He's up here, so we're celebrating him.
He's like an iconic character here in Long Beach. Yeah. And I remember he traveled with some of the other teams before through some of the rounds in FD.
Yep.
Several years ago. Here we go, looking at Forrest checking out his front right tire. So there was obviously a contact, and I think if that was, if we have to assess fault on one of the drivers, I think it's going to be the chase driver.
All right. Well, the car 808, hard-tuned, Yellow Speed Racing, we'll see what's going on here. Obviously, you see the tires going different directions. Well, a little lull in the action here. Let's throw it down to that name, but I apologize. From Ukraine, this really cool car, VR powered. Yeah, that's got a GTR engine under the hood of the all-new Toyota Supra, the M-Spec S chassis. Old Faithful here for Stuckey. Yo, getting it done. And the Ukrainian driver, Alex, slowing down a bit, getting that smoke show, gets intimate with the side of Stuckey's M-Spec vehicle. A kind of off and on, a hot and cold run there from that Supra of Halovnia. But Stuckey, you saw him just throw it down. Well done. Again, the Vitor tires, newcomer.
So here we go, Stuckey throwing the car around, very exciting to watch. But it looked like Lavnia does a late initiation and also comes a little short here after the outside zone 2. Huge correction. That even looks like he almost straightened out, but doesn't make his way out all the way to the outside zone 3 as a chase car. As a lead car, Stuckey doing a good job overall. Very exciting looking driver. And I think we're going to have to, I'm not even sure if that's going to be, that's the straight right there. He dives right in. Car almost pretty much straightens after he does the transition going towards the outside zone 2. And Stuckey, on the other hand, as a lead driver, he is just doing his thing and completes the track. Now, this is going to help us out a lot, right? That looks pretty straight. But we're going to go ahead and see what's going to happen when they switch places. Halovnia does dive in at the end. Makes multiple mistakes as the chase driver, but during his practice it looked like he was laying down some good runs there too. So it's going to be interesting to see him lead and Stuckey giving chase.
Here we are back to that start line, cleaning up the track. We got some debris here. So still have to finish out the second half of the Wang and Thorn battle. And again, we are now officially more than halfway through top 16 because of James Dean. He did get a bye run. So our number 1 and our number 2 qualifier have a bye run. Taking a look, James Dean's team. Now, Robbie, let it be noted that yes, of course, Wang is allowed to get hands on the car, but unfortunately, he's only allowed 10 minutes.
Yeah, he has 10 minutes, and if he has to use his competition timeout, which you only have one throughout the whole weekend.
But he didn't have to use it.
He didn't have to use it this time.
Just to clarify.
So if he runs out of time after 10 minutes, he does have 5 more minutes.
Right, there you go, thank you. All right, so again, thrashing on the vehicle, getting the car back. Thorn does have to utilize his competition timeout because it was deemed that he was at fault for that contact.
Now, Lavnia is going to be leading, and he's just going to have to lay down the best run as he can because he did make sizable mistakes as a chase driver. Stuckey needs to know. He knows what to do, probably behind. Let's go ahead and check this out.
Here we go, Lavnia out front. Stuckey giving chase. Now transitioning into that second outside zone. Lavnia comes up a bit short, allowing Daniel Stuckey to stay close. One more turn. Oh, and Stuckey hits that wall. It does affect him, but man, he took that like an uppercut and still kept on beating away.
Kept going. He didn't correct.
That could have taken him out.
Oh yeah, that could have been like a complete straighten, but it doesn't look like, I'm going to check the replay again, but it doesn't look like he did completely straighten, but could be close.
He still maintained the angle, I think, but let's take a look at it again. Again, the Formula Drift rookie, Lavnia, what are you looking at, Robbie?
Right here, as a lead driver, Lavnia does a fairly good job. Goes a little wide there, washes out, but Stuckey does the transition a little too early and looks like his left rear contact into the touch and go on the left side, driver's left. This might be a better view to see Lavnia not all the way out to the outside zone 3, but boom. Stuckey, yeah, he stays in it though. There's slight counter steer. He does have to correct because he does have a contact with the wall.
And it was just his independent mistake. So what's good?
Yeah.
It's a bummer for him, but it's a bonus that he was in the chase position.
Yeah, if that was a lead and if that did mess up the chase driver, that wouldn't be good.
Taking a look, and it is like across the board. It's like 35, 35, 31%. You know, for as far as the fans saying between Stuckey and Lavnia and one more time. So it's a real split decision. Real split decision between the 3 options, either one driver, the other, or one more time. So slide of left for Stuckey, right for Lavnia, and it looks like Stuckey gets the win. He's hungry. Here we go, Frederick Osbo, the Rockstar Energy Drink, Toyota GR Supra, your defending champion, going against Mike Power. Frederick Osbo out to the outside zone. Mike Power coming up way short there on that first outside zone. Frederick Osbo not all the way to the outside zone 3, but Power unfortunately not helping himself by not chasing Osbo as aggressively as he potentially should.
Yeah, we would like to see the chase driver a little bit closer in proximity, but like you said, outside zone 1, Osbo does a great job, but he does miss outside zone 2 and comes a little short on the line getting to the wall. And as you can see, he doesn't get as close to the wall, but fairly good job at outside zone 3. But most of the part, Power is trying to stay, maybe play catch up or keep up with Osbo in the lead, and he does have to run a smaller line than the lead car. Doesn't make it out to the outside zones as well, and looks like the angle of the car is a little bit more shallower. But we do take that in consideration when we do judge who wins or doesn't win. We're just gonna have to see what's gonna happen when Osbo gives chase.
Oh man, they are absolutely hustling over here. That Yellow Speed Racing, and what's going on here? So Kevin's getting involved.
Yeah,
This could be
really
really detrimental to Forrest.
Yeah, because Kevin has to make sure that the cars are safe to be back on track, and you can't do just like a bandage fix. And if it's really, obviously there's going to be 2 cars out there. If it's too dangerous for the car out there, sometimes the tech can say you can't drive on the track. It's not going to pass the tech.
Yeah, yeah. If it's unsafe, it's deemed unsafe.
Yeah, I've seen cars previously when they went wrecked. They try to fix it. It looks like it's okay, but probably not good enough and not durable enough to be back on track. And we got to think about safety first. So,
all right, here we go. Mike Power out front. Frederick Osbo in the chase position. We know what Freddie's capable of. And here comes Mike Power. Initiates. Very shallow line on that approach. You see how much he's in the rumble strip. Frederick Osbo has to kind of dial it back. Mike Power looks like doesn't get to the outside zone 3. Freddie. See him kind of posturing right there, seeing where Mike's going to go. And that's really good car awareness by Frederick.
Hey, that's the defending champion of Formula Drift, textbook chase run there. He does look like, in some parts, he has more angle than the lead run. We'll go ahead and check out the replay. But I personally, and I didn't think that he was going to be that aggressive as a chase, but look at here. After outside zone 1, he creeps up to Power right here, and he's on the verge of having enough angle as a chase car. He was a little bit smaller on the line on outside zone 1, but not as bad as how Power was when he was behind, and a good amount of proximity throughout the track. Right here, Power does a good job on outside zone 1, looks really exciting. A little short on the line outside zone 2, and shallows up a little bit, not as stable, but overall it's a pretty clean run. But I think Osbo chases him very well, and we're gonna have to see who wins. I already put in what I thought.
Look at this.
So.
You already put in your verdict? Okay.
Yes.
Well, again, taking a look over Forrest's pits, or the hot pit area, I should say, because we kind of have the standard pit where the fans get to mingle with the drivers, and this is the hot pit area.
And the competition timeout, you want to save it till the last minute.
Absolutely. Here we go. Start real quick to cut you off. Frederick Osbo, the Norwegian Hammer, gets the win. It's unanimous. Freddie, this car, it's prepped, it's ready to go. But Travis Reeder, we know he can get it done. He got it done last year in New Jersey, got the win. Trent Beecham with that straight line approach. Travis Reeder using all of the track in that first outside zone. Beecham falling back on initiation. The Nicholas GT Radial BMW, Old Red. Putting the car in all the right places. Well done. Beecham gets aggressive there in the final moments. But Reeder, you saw him just using all of the course. Seat time is what it comes down to. Like I said, just, Beecham, he hasn't married the car yet. They're kind of dating. They're figuring it out. Seeing, looking at their options. Do you want kids? What do you?
Yeah. So
just all those things.
Reeder looks like he takes a wide line throughout the whole track, which is a good thing. After the outside zone 3 there, he stays wide, but makes sure he comes right back in for the touch and go. Now, just as you're saying, Beecham might have not, maybe he's not as familiar with this vehicle as much as Reeder is. He's been in this car for a while. Kind of gets a little late, wobble there, and has to run a shallower angle and a smaller line throughout the track just to keep up with Reeder. So there might be a little bit of dialing in that he has to do with this car and getting used to maybe, but let's see what's going to happen when he leads.
Look at that. Looks like the Forrest Wang team buttoned up. Little snap-on ratcheting wrench there, just putting a bow on it. Let's see what we got from Trenton Beecham. The BMWs have become so popular over the years.
Yeah, that's like the next S chassis.
S chassis.
Yeah. I thought the 350Z was going to be that, but it looks like the BMW is kind of taking over now.
Yeah, I think there's just, there's a lot of room, the engine bay, the chassis, all of that. So, yeah, widely available and international as well. So, Trenton Beecham, here we go. Clonex, Nexon Tires, BMW slaps it on the wall. Travis Reeder stays consistent. Trenton Beecham looking a lot more comfortable out front. Ooh, Travis jumps in on the inside. A big correction there by Reeder. What was that line? You saw him kind of dive in, straight line on that inside clip.
Yeah, I was that looked like he was shallowing up a lot. Now I'm gonna have to see, you know, if he was even counter steering or not. It looked like he was, so he was still in drift. It's just that the angle was super shallow. Other than the inside clip area, watching this, Beecham makes it all the way out to the wall, taps the wall a little bit, kind of gets a little upset. Reeder keeping the pressure on him and good proximity. But right here, let's go ahead and check this out. Did he have to cut in? Was that enough? I'm gonna have to keep watching this. Now, usually when I'm judging, I'm used to just watching. It sounds like maybe my mind is speaking right now, so excuse me, but
I love it. No, I mean, it's
right.
good to elaborate kind of what you're seeing, and that's why it's great to have the judges here. Judges conversing here, talking, looking at the different angles, the different replays. Reeder and Beecham waiting for the verdict. The judges analyzing all the different angles, slowing it down, looking at what transpired. All right, so again, our judges discussing. So what we've implemented over the years is just different angles, right, of replay. And up here in the booth, we, speaking of replays, let's take a look at the BC Racing Go for Gold instant replay, side by side. And what they're looking at is, we have a gentleman, Sean Adriano, he kind of converses with the drivers and deals with that communication, but also has a slow-mo cam. And with Sean did compete in Formula Drift for a few years, Pro-Am, Pro Spec, all of that, and so he knows kind of what to look at. It's really great for Sean to roll the tape, see what's going on, and we could see the different angles.
yeah, sorry it's taking a while, but we do have to look into this really closely, because this is actually, it may seem small, but it's it's something big, because, you know, this is a drifting event and we want to see the cars drifting. Right. And anywhere on the track, if you have to straighten out or anything, that's going to hurt the driver a lot. And, you know, you can have multiple mistakes, but, you know, straightening out is probably one of the biggest mistakes you can make. And it looks like
taking a look,
yeah, and we're looking at leading up. We're looking at leading up to the inside clip as well, the transition, and it looked like maybe Beecham was on a smaller line. It looked like Beecham was on a smaller line where Reeder had to adjust to it. Let me go ahead and double check that.
You can see our area up here. Thank you for joining us out here. We're celebrating 20 years of Formula Drift. Our judges right here, you got Chris Yule, Ryan Lontaine, Robbie's up here next to me, but you can see our setup. We have multiple screens, multiple angles, and obviously multiple fans. Thanks for joining us out here. Let me hear you make some noise. Stomp your feet, make some noise. Formula Drift Long Beach. You loving this stuff or what? Come on. Fans online are saying 41%. That Reeder gets the win, 26%. Beecham gets the win, and 33% that they wanted to go one more time. All right, scores should be in.
All right, this is a tough one, because, you know, when both the drivers make multiple mistakes, that's the toughest for us to judge.
Slide them left for Reeder, right for Beecham. One more time. Beecham and Trenton Beecham gets the win. Beecham. Normally we don't state those things, but because of kind of digressing, recalling all that.
I hope both cars are back 100%.
Right.
But it looks like Wang's not giving him his space.
Here we go. Robert Thorne initiates, and boy. Thorne, there you go.
Man.
Exactly to your point, man. Car was not 100, and Forrest Wang will get the victory. Unfortunately for Robert Thorne, some bad luck on his side. Fortunately, he goes into the tires, but again, wobbly.
You know what? But from the look at that hit, maybe the damage isn't as bad. You know,
Yeah.
the front left looks very hurt, but thanks to the tire barriers, it kept it minimal. I think the damages are minimal, but it's very unfortunate for Thorne right here initiated, and I don't know if it's a problem that was caused from the contact or car shut off, or I'm not sure what happened there. But
You just
did
seemed
go
straight out.
Yeah, you went
you
straight
just
into the
went
tire
straight
barrier.
in. All right, some housekeeping here, and guess what? You know the outcome here. Forrest Wang gets the win. The Yellow Speed Racing S chassis advances. Go. So Chelsea Denofa, Adam LZ, Chelsea initiates Pennzoil, BC Racing, Mustang RTR Spec 5 FD. Big angle there from Chelsea, gets all the way out there. Adam LZ, there he takes that shallower line. Chelsea doesn't get all the way out. Adam taking the shallower line, so Mustang versus Mustang. Around that final inner clip. A great run by both the drivers. Chelsea just a little bit deeper than Adam LZ in that lead run.
Yeah, it looked like the only difference that I saw from both of the cars was probably location on track. It looks like Adam LZ was a little bit shallower on the line, smaller on the line. Chelsea uses the track fully, goes wall to wall, right there on the inside area of outside zone 2 to 3. It looks like Adam goes very close to the rumble strip area. So obviously, we're gonna have to see how they're gonna be driving when they're switching places. But a lot of angle and heavy throttle by Chelsea Denofa. Very clean run as a lead. And Adam LZ looks like he was falling behind a little bit, but he does play a little bit of catch up after the outside zone 2 and 3 area.
Remember, after this, we do have our halftime break where we have open kind of pit and paddock. Head over to the Rockstar Energy booth. I'm going to be doing some interviews for K&N over at the podium. So we're going to have all the K&N and AEM drivers over at the podium. So come wrap out with us. And also, I'm going to be over at the Royal Purple booth, wrapping out with Dylan Hughes, talking to him. We'll see which way he goes. He's going against Dean Carnage Carney in the final battle, 32.
You're going to be busy.
I'm busy, and I'm gonna high five my son over the Rockstar booth. He's emceeing over at the Rockstar Energy Drink booth, the official energy drink of Formula Drift, as this is the Rockstar Energy Top 32. Adam LZ now out front, Chelsea Denofa in that chase position. Adam, using all the track. You see him shredding some skin there. Kind of struggles, and that was the point where, he is just absolutely throwing a brick on that gas pedal. Adam LZ hammers down. Chelsea kind of checks up there. He's like, Adam, where are you going, bro?
Yeah.
He just took off, man.
Yeah, chasing down a car that's going into, like, let's say a tire barrier or a wall is very intimidating for the chase car. So I'm pretty sure anybody would have reacted how Chelsea did as a chase car. But let's go ahead and check out the replay to see what happened right here.
Adam pieced out, man. He was on one.
I think Adam was just like, you know what, I'm just going to throw it down. Nixed the tire barrier towards the end of it. I think his line was a little too early going to the outside zone, so everything kind of got pushed back. So he was on a different line than he should have been, and looks like Chelsea couldn't stay as close, but that might have been because Adam kind of blazing through the track. He does run a shallower line going to outside zone 2 to 3, then hangs out a little bit too long after outside zone 3, and doesn't do the transition as quickly as he should have for the touch and go on the left side. But maybe it's the car or something, but makes these drivers very aggressive, because as a lead driver, Adam's run was pretty aggressive.
The Mustang is such a unique feel, from what I understand. It's a throttle car. You just got to hammer down, man, and you just got to kind of point and shoot. And just talking to James Dean and just knowing Chelsea just over the years. Here we go. Slide him left for Chelsea Denofa, right for Adam LZ. Early But now he's cheering on Simon Olsen. Here we go, Jeff Jones, Evo Autoworks, Prism, Nissan 370Z. Into that first outside zone, Jeff Jones gets all the way out there. Simon Olsen does not, he straightens, he's taking that mid-line. He's gonna need to step it up as Jeff Jones, massive angle there from Jones. Transitions now, again, 2 LS supercharged vehicles, and Jones powers through that final inner clip. Simon Olsen from Norway having a bit of struggles getting to that first outside zone, and that just threw him off for the entirety of the run.
Yeah, so it looks like Jeff doesn't have a clean initiation. It's almost like a 2-step initiation, but other than that, he does make it all the way out to the outside zone 1 and 2. Simon Olsen gets really close to Jeff Jones around outside zone 3, but he does look like he has to run a smaller line through outside zone 1 and 2 in order to get there. Right here, pretty much in the middle of the track, and he is attacking. Maybe he's getting a little more carried away on trying to stay close. Very shallow angle going through the touch and go as a chase run, or as a chase vehicle. But as a lead, you know, or as a chase vehicle, you want to make sure that you try to stay on the same line as the lead driver and try to match the angle as well. You never know until they switch places.
Absolutely. It ain't over till the fat guys yell, "Send it." That's me. All right. Alternating the order here. We have 2 more battles after this. If we get a verdict here, Simon Olsen will lead, Jeff Jones giving chase. After this, Forsberg versus Field. Woo! That's gonna be a barn burner. And then Dylan Hughes versus Dean Carnage Carney. Here we go, right now. It's Simon Olsen, Field suspension, TT radial, S chassis. Oh, now he gets out there. Now he's feeling comfortable. Jeff Jones takes a bit of a shallower line. He does initiate. Simon getting the clean air and the clean line. Jeff Jones sticks it to the door. Simon takes out that inside clip. Was that enough for Simon Olsen? Jeff Jones. Judges analyzing the run here, the 3-2-1 cone. Let's take a look at it again here. Robbie, what do you think?
Yeah, so right now Olsen, as the lead driver, we know the potential that he has. He is able to make the car go all the way to the outside zones. And Jeff Jones, good job keeping the pressure on the lead car. And both the drivers makes it through. Now, we have to take both of the runs in consideration to see what the winner, who the winner is going to be, or if it's going to be a one more time. It looks like Jeff Jones is, when he was doing the transition, it looked like he got a little stuck, but puts himself where he is supposed to be at, right? Yeah, so when I was telling you right now,
yeah,
Jeff making a mistake here as the chase car right there, he had to actually cut back in right at the outside zone 2, leaving the outside zone 2 as a chase vehicle.
Waiting for the verdict, the judges scrutinizing, taking a look, seeing what's going on. Again, if we get a verdict, 2 more battles left. How we doing out there, Long Beach? Look at this. Stomp your feet, make some noise. Look at that. Look at this view. Seeing the car show over there. There's that turn 9 of the IndyCar track. You can see the rubber being laid down, going under the bridge. Our VIP suites there on the right-hand side, coming down into that outer zone 2. That's not the line exactly you want to take, but now there's that touch and go off to your left, and then finally that inside clip. So there's your drone FPV view.
Before any more replays or before anything comes up, we were just talking about what was happening. Now, number one, as a lead driver at the initiation, Jeff Jones, let's go ahead and see this.
All right, here we go. Slide him left for Jones or right for Olsen. Simon Olsen gets the victory, not unanimously, 2-1. Allow this barn burner. Holy cow, 3-time champion Chris Forsberg and that NOS energy drink. All new Nissan Z versus the new livery of the Borla exhaust. Heat wave, feeling it. Into that first outside zone, transition into the second outside zone. Forsberg and that VR-powered Nissan Z. Matt Field, the Lean Customs logo on the roof. Into that final clip. Woo. Wow. This is a absolute gladiator battle right here. Let's take a look at it again. Again, Chris Forsberg on the GT radial.
Yeah,
Matt Field, both these guys on GT now.
This is one of those runs where it's going to be hard to tell until you see the next run, because it looks like overall Matt is on a shallower line, but at the same time it doesn't look like Forsberg made it all the way out to the outside zone 2 and maybe left a little bit of space at outside zone 3 as well. Let's go ahead and check it out from this view. Nice flick to initiation, both cars in good position, but from right here, Matt doesn't make it all the way out to outside zone 1 as a chase driver and dives in a little bit, and Forsberg maybe a little bit of a space at outside zone 2 and a little outside zone 3, but overall, both clean runs. Right there towards the end, there was I'm not sure if that was a contact or not, but probably nothing
like
major there. Yeah.
It.
So here, Matt pressuring.
He gained the proximity.
Yeah, he did.
Because Forsberg came up shallow, so that allowed Matt to get close. Both of them did a good job in that last outside zone. And where's the finish line there? Because technically we want them to drift through the finish line.
There was
one, to avoid contact, and 2, to complete the drift.
Yeah, there is I think there's a marker on the fence. Looked like a striped marker, I think, where it indicates the finish line. But even if you're shallow on angle, you got to make sure that you have to drift through the finish line. If you do straighten before that, usually that'll be an incomplete as well.
So here we go, Matt Field out front. I'm expecting a big, nasty initiation. You know, he didn't just call himself the beast for the bay for nothing. Here we go. Or him get called that as Matt Field under the bridge. Into outside zone 2, fills all of outside zone 3. Great angle there from Matt Field. Forsberg chasing him down, tracking him down. Both are wrapping around that final inside clip and powering through the finish. So Matt, really good. I loved his execution on outside zone 3. I want to take a look at outside zone 2, a switch between camera shot and to the naked eye. Just looked really exciting, them coming down the chute.
Yeah, so as a lead driver, it looked like Matt was a little bit wider at the outside zone 3, but as a chase driver looking at Forsberg, he looks like he's mimicking the line of Matt a little bit better than when Matt was chasing Forsberg. And also right here, finishing off the track, Forsberg didn't get too close. Right here, Forsberg looked like he did a transition a little too early, but he timed himself right, put himself where he should be as a chase driver.
Judges looking at still different angles and perspectives. Matt Field, a championship contender last year, just evaded him at the final round. And here's our BC Racing Go for Gold side by side. Remember, we have our halftime break. High five, handshakes, the drivers, the pits, everything going on. Go by the Rockstar booth. Yeah, really just breaking it down here. Forsberg or Field. And really splitting hairs here.
Yeah, it is. You know, just as any battle, you know, we have to look at it carefully, and we have to watch from the initiation all the way through. And especially at this track, the initiation area does set the pace for the rest of the track, and some of the cars can come a little short on the line as a chase.
Here we go. Here we go. Slide him left for Forsberg, right for Field. One more time from you, Robbie. Matt Field, and one more time.
So I think that was this is a little bit easier, where I think one of the judges probably saw it heavily. Now it looked.
Rain X on the windscreen, GT on the corner, and the Hyper NFT Dodge Viper, Dean Carnage Carney, the other Irish driver in the building. Let's see what they got for us. Dylan Hughes, the dozer, gets out to the outside zone 1, into outside zone 2. Oh, taps the wall.
no.
A big correction there from Dylan Hughes. Allowing Dean Carney to get close. Dylan comes out of shape, out of character. A hard blow there for Dylan Hughes. That outside zone 2 ends up biting him back. It could have been a lot worse. We've seen.
Oh man, I've hit that wall before and went straight into the tires.
What car were you driving then?
The 240.
Oh, got it.
Yellow 240.
Yep,
But yeah.
yep.
Oh man, I mean, up until then, the lead car and the chase car looked like they were both doing a great job, and it looked like Dylan was pulling away a little bit until he hit that outside zone 2 area. Huge mistake there, wobble. It looked like he almost straightened or something going through the finish line as well. Let me go ahead and check the replay again, but nice angle by Dylan Hughes, and a nice job by Dean Kearney in the back mimicking, but right when he hit, as a chase driver, you'd be surprised, but looked like Dean was staying in it. Right there, I think he just shallows up towards the finish line, but now we have to see Dylan give chase.
You know, Dean has had.
For us old people, this brings back memories.
Right? Just like, yeah, I know, right? There we go. All right, we started him here. Dean Carnage Carney and Dylan Hughes. Dean Carnage Carney initiates into the outside zone 1. Here comes Carney. Carnage into that second outside zone. Dylan Hughes does tuck into that smoke, but takes a way shallower line. Dylan almost getting lost in the smoke. And around that final clip. Unfortunately, Dylan with that major mistake in the outside zone 2 when he was leading, he was at a deficit there, and then with that way shallow line going from 2 to 3, absolutely missing all of 3. Watch it again here.
Yeah, this looks like a simple course, but it is very, very hard. But we spoke at the drivers' meeting as well. We didn't want the lead car to beat, you know, since the initiation is very important, we didn't want the lead car to be too, like, hugging the line on after the initiation right there, going over the rumble strips. So it looks like Dean was trying to get away a little bit, and Dylan was trying to play chase overall, but I think the mistake that Hughes made as a lead hitting the outside zone 2, that might be pretty big as well. So we're gonna have to look at all of this and make a decision. Right here, kind of cuts in, but makes it out to the outside zone 1. And right there, gets a little too close. Dylan gets a little too close outside zone 2, holds back and has to run a smaller line than the lead car through outside zone 3.
All right, let's get our verdict here between Dean Carnage Carney and Dylan Hughes. Rockstar Energy Drink, top 32, bang, there you go. Dean Carnage Carney gets the win unanimously over Dylan Hughes. One more battle left, and one more time between Forsberg and Field, and it's a beautiful day out here. Speaking of beautiful, Lorette, where are you at? 16 after our halftime break. Here we go. Chris Forsberg, Matt Field. What a huge battle here. Qualifying 6th. Chris the Force Forsberg going against the beast from the Bay, Matt Field. In that first outside zone, Forsberg taps the wall. He does a little correction there, but doesn't get too effective. Matt Field applying the pressure, and this is what he was talking about. Josh was just talking about this. Getting down and dirty. No handbrake, going across that finish line. There you go. All right, so taking a look at here, Robbie, what are we looking at? What are we kind of scrutinizing?
All right, so right here, the pace of the vehicles, it looks like this time it didn't change so much for Matt as a chase driver, but doesn't make it all the way out to the outside zone 1 as clean. But Chris Forsberg as a lead driver, he makes it all the way out to the outside zone 1. After that, outside zone 2, both the drivers are around in the same area, and looks like Matt Field does a good job mimicking a little bit shallower on the angle. But right here, shallows up a little bit at the inside clip, but keeps pressure on the lead run.
Back right now, GT Radial going for it. Let's see what we got here. Got Forge Stars on the corners and Momo Suit inside the ride. Matt Field using all the course out that second outside zone. Forsberg tucks in. Matt Field gets out to outside zone 3. How they can handle it is just going to be the deciding factor. Forsberg noses in, does nudge over that inside clip. So some aggressive driving. These guys got dealt a tough hand. You know, both of them looking at each other. It's an arm wrestling match. Man, this is a tough one.
All right, so we have watched the first run. Now we're going to go back to this one. This one's a lot cleaner. Both the drivers lead and chase. Matt Field does what he's supposed to do as a lead driver. Chris Forsberg keeps the pressure on behind, very close throughout the track, and finishes off the track. Now we're going to have to see. I'm not sure if there's going to be a replay from earlier or not, but Forsberg has the lead where he made contact with the outside zone 1, and that was probably one of the most obvious ones that we can see as the lead driver. There we go, finishing off the track. But yeah, was that good enough or not? We're going to see, but I think all the judges made their decisions.
Here we go, slide him left for Forsberg or right for Matt Field. Unanimously gets the win. Matt Field